Now let's see if this works. Go my freaking page, man. Come on. Click. Alright. Banner. Banner. Guest. Banner. Guest. Banner. Guest. Come on. How do I find the link on the phone? How do I find the link on the phone? Okay, I guess. Oh, why is everything gotta be a hassle? Oh my god. Can't I comment on this page? was able to finally put the link up.
Yo, what up, bro? Can you hear me, Mo Dog?
Yeah. What's going on, LA?
What up, bro? Having some issues, huh?
Yeah, it's different with the my computer's is not working for some reason. I'm trying with the phone. It took me a few minutes to figure the phone out.
Oh yeah, dude. I can't remember how you I know I just remember saying like add a link or something, but I don't remember exactly how to do it. That's why I was like, fuck. I just know it by like if I was on it, I know, but I don't even remember the tab for it, but I think you're good now. It seems a little low, but let me see if I oh yeah, I think I should be good now.
All right. What's going on, Alex?
Well, yeah, no, your mic is a little low. Let me see. Uh,
That's why I wanted to use my laptop, but I just couldn't get it to work.
hey, we got Nate. Hey, Nate, tap the link, bro. Hold on. Alex Lugo, there goes another Charger crew member. I forgot about you, bro. How you doing? Um, I'm trying to see to turn up the volume on my end. I don't know because it might just be on my end that I can't hear you. So if Nate, if you could hear him or Alex, just fine, then it's on my end. Um, yeah, I got all the volume all the way up. Oh, now I'm hearing myself.
No, that's because I put it on my laptop to see if I can hear me.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I mean, I could hear you. I just don't know if other people, if they're not going to be able to hear you.
Alex says he can hear both of us.
Oh, okay. Then it's on my end, dude. Let me see if I can. Let me come out and then I'll come back in and see if I could change the. Or hold on, there it is. Settings. We should have this figured out before. I know. I know. The volume. Oh, okay, there. That might be, or it might be my audio. Let's see. Say something.
Yo.
Yeah, on my end, it's still pretty low, but I mean, I could hear you. So if everybody else could hear you, then I think we're good. We're good. All right. So, so yeah, bro. I was actually, I saw something that I was like, all right, man, let's, we could talk about obviously week one. It's a little early too, but um, well, I don't know, bro. It's your channel. What did you want to talk about? But I got a topic if you don't have anything.
Go ahead, man.
All right, so you know that fucking Kaplan asshole from San Diego, the sports announcer.
Yeah.
So I'm not even sub to him, but because obviously he does Charger. Well, his content is to be a Charger hater, right? So
Yeah.
I saw a post that he had yesterday, and he had that fat fuck JT the Brick, the Raider fan, on there, and bro, like that's the thing that amazes me, right? Is Raider fans got the nerve to try to call us delusional. Like it just it just like, dude, I can't help but to laugh. To be called delusional by a Raider fan is like being told you're short by a midget. You know what I'm saying? Like, are
Yeah.
you fucking crazy? Like Raider fans are gonna talk about delusion, right? So And that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part of that whole, and I couldn't even watch the whole thing, bro, because it's just like the shit that came out of his mouth was so the dude, because the Kaplan asshole is not, he wants all the negative shit he can get on the Chargers, right? But he had like another host, and he was just trying to defend, like, oh yeah, well, we got hardball now. And this fucking douche, JT the Brick, is like, yeah, but Hardball's a cheater. He can't even go to Michigan, and I'm like, again, a Raider fan is gonna sit there and try to talk about like, oh, Hardball's a cheater. How can you have him as your coach? And it's like, I don't know, bro. Like, to me, it's the most hysterical fucking thing, bro. Because Raider fans are like, it's just like every year seems to get worse, bro. And now that they have the hype of having a defense, they think like that's all you need in this league to win. And it's like, dude, and that's why I keep going back and forth with Ash. And it's like, bro, it's funny to me, dog. Like, it's hilarious, dude. So, I mean, if you haven't seen the clip, you probably, I can't do it justice, bro. You got to see it yourself. It's, it truly is funny, bro. Like how Raider fans, or at least this dude, but it's a majority of Raider fans. They all think the same shit. They all say the same shit, bro. So I don't know, man. I just thought that shit was hilarious. You got a Raider fan all of a sudden on a moral compass, bro. Oh, how could you have Hardball and he cheated at Michigan? And it's just funny, dog. Oh, very similar, bro. They're identical. But see, here's the funny thing about that, Alex. At least Dallas has a shot, bro. They have the talent to win. I mean, they win 12, 11 games a season. They choke in the playoffs, right? So at least, yeah, they are very similar in that sense. But at least Cowboy fans, you never know, bro. They could hit any one of these years, and it wouldn't be a huge surprise. The Raiders, on the other hand, are just as hype as they are every fucking year, yet the ceiling's not the same. You get what I'm saying? It's like, dude, you'll be lucky to win 8 games this year. But you guys are talking as if, Ash Raiders over here saying he's giving the Raiders a 70 to 75% chance to win week 1. And it's like, where's the confidence come from, bro? Because that's the funniest thing to me, bro. Like, if Gardner Minshew was our quarterback right now, bro, I'd be like, damn. I'd try to be as humbled as fucking possible, bro. Like, Gardner Minshew, really? That's your quarterback? And, you're over here pumping your chest because your defense is so good, supposedly, and I don't know, bro. They just leave logic out of everything. Like, I've always said this, Raider logic, bro. Raider logic. They, fucking Patrick Mahomes throws 4 touchdowns in the second quarter against them. And some dude literally said, if you take out the second quarter, we beat Kansas City. That is Raider logic, bro. They got to put that shit on a shirt because that is them, bro. And I know, look, trust me, we're guilty of saying a lot of dumb shit too, but it's just funny. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. It's just on a whole other level, dog. But, yeah, bro. I don't know, bro. It's hilarious, dude.
What do you think about Jim Harbaugh wanting to bring in Colin Kaepernick?
What Harbaugh? I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, they saying that he wants to make him a coach. I don't know why. What? I don't know what Colin can bring to the table, to be honest with you, other than controversy. So I don't know what the angle was with that, bro. Like, they were talking about, well, at first it started off that, we were going to bring him up as a backup. And then I guess Colin didn't want to do that. See, that's the thing that bothers me, right? Colin will sit there and say he's been blackballed and he doesn't want, or they're not letting him in the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's like he gets opportunities, right? I think the Seahawks were going to give him an opportunity a couple years back. And now the Chargers were trying to give him an opportunity and he keeps turning it down. So how is the NFL blackballing you Yet when you kind of, because his thing is, I want to be a starter. Bro, you cannot be out of the league for as long as you have and then try to come back and say you want to be a starter. You know what I mean? So I'm tired of the whole Colin Kaepernick shit. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, here we go. This is just more of the same shit. And then if Colin really did turn it down, it's like, okay, dude, I don't want to hear this shit no more. Like, just let it die. I really hope he doesn't come on staff, dude, because I don't think he has anything to offer. What is he gonna? What if they bring him? Like, first of all, Herbert loves Shane Day, which is our quarterbacks coach. So, what is he gonna be? Shane Day's assistant? You think he's going to go for something like that? No, he's going to want to be offensive coordinator. And it's like, dude, talk about delusional. Like, what has Colin Kaepernick done in this league to be like, oh, yeah, I don't know, he has some valuable knowledge. What's he done, bro? He's a fucking hack, dude. So, yeah, I don't know. I when I heard about it, I didn't really care. I was just like, whatever. I guess we're doing this again, you know? But yeah, what were your thoughts on it?
I just didn't want him. I didn't want
It's just all a gimmick,
partner
bro. And I
that
don't know
bad.
why Hardball would even suggest it, like why, dude? I mean, you've been doing so good, bro. Like he brought in um what's his name? Nick Hardwick to help with the offensive line, and he brought in Navarro Bowman has been doing great with the linebackers, bro. Whatever Navarro Bowman, is it Navarro Bowman or is it yeah, I think it is Navarro Bowman who he brought in as a linebackers coach. He's obviously done something to Deion Henley, bro, because Deion Henley looks night and day. Obviously, he was a rookie last year, but Deion Henley looks like a completely different player this year, bro. So Navarro Bowman was a smart hire, first time hire, and that's what Hardball's doing is he's bringing in a lot of former players to give them the kind of their start. But I that's why I don't get. Like I get Navarro Bowman, he was a big part of his defenses when he was there with the Niners, and Nick Hardwick. I don't think Hardwick. When did we draft Hardwick? I think Hardwick was around what 04, 05, maybe 03, and Hardball was with us. I think Hardball was with us in 02. So yeah, he probably has no connection to Hardwick, but obviously he knew that how the impact that Hardwick had with the Chargers. So I like those things, but yeah, the Colin Kaepernick, I don't understand that shit at all,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been everything he's done so far is good. I just like I said, I don't get the drama with Kaepernick, bro. Like let that shit rest already. It's over.
Maybe because they're friends.
Do you think are you panicking about the backup quarterback situation or
No,
yeah.
because even with the backup quarterback, unless this team's like magnificent, we haven't had a good backup quarterback since Rivers, and Rivers wasn't even that great, but he was good. But still, I think Herbert will be fine. Shouldn't have any injuries this year.
Yeah, that's what I mean, bro. Like it just gives, when I was away from YouTube, bro, it was nice because that's what these Charger channels try to do. Like they try to create like drama and again, I get it, bro. They're just trying to get people to, you know, interact with the channel and shit. So I get it on that point, but that's why I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna stress on a backup quarterback because first of all, if Herbert were to go down, right? Are you telling me? And I get it. What the thought process is like, oh, okay, well, let's say Herbert misses 4 games. We need somebody capable enough to take over those 4 games. But the thing is, with the Chargers, bro, as you know and I know, whenever there's an injury to one of our players, bro, they don't come back in 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So they're not just gone for a week or two. Like we lose guys for the year now. Yeah, obviously we're going to have to try to stop thinking that way. But my thing is, bro, listen, if Herbert is not going to be in there and like I said, depending on the kind of injury, I'm not gonna panic till it happens. And I get it. Easton Stick. The thing about him, bro, and this is why I keep finding it so funny how all these people are like, oh yeah, they're all panicking. He's never been a throw first quarterback, bro. Like he's not. And a run first quarterback would actually help. That's what you're looking for, right? If you're in the Greg Roman offense. Well, that's exactly what Easton is. Easton is a guy that could create plays with his legs. Let him do that. Stop having him in the pocket trying to pinpoint receivers when he's not accurate. He doesn't have an arm, like treat him as if he's Lamar Jackson and let him just run up and down the field, bro. Like that's what I don't get, and yet you still get Charger fans that are just so surprised by it. It's like, dude, he's been with us for 5 years. It's the same guy that he was when he got drafted. He's never changed. He's never, improved. Like there's no trying to develop anything with him. It is what it is. Like when he was playing the Rams, he was running the ball a little more. He was getting first downs. That's exactly what he needs to do. Run the football. Obviously in a game situation, you'll have Gus Edwards, you'll have DK, or not DK, JK Dobbins, right? Hopefully. And then just play action, run, have Easton do, and that's it. And then you could win games that way. It's that simple. But yeah, man, it's just that's why I go back to like, yeah, bro, this YouTube shit just gets kind of annoying because I don't know about that, bro, because again, yeah, like I think it all comes down to what your expectations are. I just had this conversation with the dude on the Charger, Michael McClendon. I don't know what his name is. I shared the video. I don't know if you're subbed up to me yet, Alex, but I did come back. I'm not doing lives on my end. I'm just, gonna be here on Modog's channel or whoever's, but I'm not doing it myself. But I just had that conversation. And again, dude, it just depends on what your expectations are for this season. To me, we're not a Super Bowl contender, right? Like that is not it. But we could be a playoff contender, right?
Yeah.
Or we could miss the playoffs. But the point being is that as long as we're building, so this is year one of the process, right? So it's not about what happens this year. It's about next year. I think me and you talked about that a little bit, Modog, on the last one.
Yeah,
it's more about what's going to happen next year. So you're setting yourself up for next year. And then that's when, we have over 100 million cap space and, they could fit. Like right now, they're just trying to get a feel for the team, right? You can't, and this is what I was trying to tell the dude on that channel. You can't have Joe Ortiz come in and completely revamp this Charger team, and try to do the right, fix everything that Tom Telesco fucked us in the last 10 years, so it's going to take some time, but we're on a good path, bro. We're very active right now. I mean, shit, they just signed another guy, it's a tight end. Again, they're not big names, but I like the fact that he's still staying constant, bro. Like he's not satisfied with the way the roster is right now. So we keep bringing in guys, hoping that, this guy will stick. And I think the dude we just brought in was Zach Wilson's top target when he was in college. And Zach Wilson was a great quarterback in college. So I'm all right with that. Let's see what he's got, so
wasn't our last tight end Virgil Green? Did we let him go?
Virgil Green? What?
Is that who I'm thinking of? Who was
what do you mean our last tight end?
Who was our last tight end?
Oh, nah, we let Gerald Everett go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he went to Chicago. But yeah, that's the thing too, bro. Like I hear a lot of people, oh, you know what? You lost Virgil. Now you got me saying Virgil Green. You lost Gerald Everett. You lost all these guys. Like Gerald Everett, bro. Gerald Everett was a nice tight end, but he wasn't a number one tight end. So it's funny. He goes and signs with Chicago that already has a number one tight end because that's what Gerald Everett is. He's a backup. Like he's not a guy that's going to want to be out there. Yeah, he gives you good effort and shit, but he can't do it a full game, 60 minutes, bro. How many times did we see that dude like get a completion, work his ass off, and then has to be put up? That's why we lost that Kansas City game a couple years ago. Gerald Everett makes this great play to get us in striking distance, and then he's asking to come out. And then, they're like, stay in there, dude. You got to stay in there. And then Herbert goes to throw it to him. He doesn't make an effort. Pick six. We end up losing that game. That's what Gerald Everett is to me. So I don't think it's a huge loss, honestly. So like I said, bro, I just keep hearing a lot of people, talk about. It's just funny because for years they've been talking about the Chargers being so talented. They're so great. They have all this talent. There's no excuse for Herbert, this, that, and the other. And now, we get rid of Keenan, right? We turn Keenan into Ladd McConkey, right? Keenan reports supposedly 20 pounds overweight to the Chicago Bears. It had to be done because Keenan didn't want to take less money. So, we had to move on from him, right? We cut Mike Williams. We bring in DJ Shark. And now DJ Shark, last time we were live, that dude was saying that he got hurt. There's been no news about him getting hurt. So he's good.
That's good.
He could max the production that you get from Mike Williams. We know Mike Williams was a part-time player. Either he's hurt or he just fades away. So DJ Shark could replace his production. And then, people keep forgetting about Quentin Johnston, bro. I think Quentin Johnston could do some things. So anyway, but I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to understand how people went from Chargers were this super talented team just last year. We lose. Oh, and Austin Eckler was the other guy I was going to bring up. Well, if you ask me, bro, who would you rather have, Austin Eckler or the combination of Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins? I mean, I'm going to pick Gus Edwards, bro. I need a running back that's able to pick up a yard when we're if we decide to go for it on 4th and 1. I got tired of seeing Austin Eckler get stuffed in the backfield. So I think we've improved the running back position. So
we made him an every down running back, and he was never meant to be that. Right.
And we kept trying. Again, that's a Telesco problem, which we don't have to worry about that shit either. But that's what I'm saying, dude. It's just how is it that we didn't improve this year? The center position, it's not, it was not that the Chargers decided to move on from Corey Linsley. He had to medically retire, right?
Yeah.
So we went through a whole season of Will Clapp last year. Horrible fucking center, right? We bring in Bradley Bozeman. Now, there wasn't that many centers to begin with on the market. Yeah, we probably should have drafted a center. But when you really look at our draft class, where were we going to take the center, bro? Because I would not change our first 3 picks. I think we were solid on all our 3 picks. Maybe that 4th round pick, they could have took a center there because that dude is, I don't know. He's not, that kid out of Alabama is not looking, maybe he could have took a center there. But other than that, I wouldn't have really changed anything about our draft picks. So, it just wasn't in the cards to get a center this year. But again, Bradley Bozeman's not horrible. He was bad last year in Carolina, but he's familiar with our offensive scheme and all that, with Roman and all that. So, I just struggle to see how we got worse. That's it. You know what I mean?
The average gonna think you got worse because you got rid of a star player. Even if the star player,
and it's really low, Modog. Can you try to turn your volume up? Because I don't. And yeah, I'm used to not being able.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you there. Yeah.
Yeah. The average Charger fan, they get upset when we lose a star player. Right. So with you losing 3, even though they're all aging, they're all not the same as they used to be. They got hurt a lot. It's still detrimental to them. So that's why they think we're not the same. But the thing was, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler, they're not putting out the numbers they did 3 years ago.
No. I mean, Austin Eckler was a product of Lombardi, bro. That's why, in those 2 years that we had, what the fuck was his name? Lombardi. I can't remember it. You know what I'm talking about. He had 38 touchdowns because he fit that system so well, But if you look at the other 3 seasons, right? Austin Eckler, this was the Austin Eckler that we had, that got hurt all the time, that, he's a decent number 2 running back. He's a great receiving back, but he's not your typical number 1. And that's why I was so pissed at Tom Telesco, because it's like, dude, this guy is literally begging you to bring in somebody. He wanted competition, and it wasn't just that. He wanted you to kind of work the load. So in that sense, dude, I always feel bad for Eckler, because it's like, dude, you wanted Eckler to be the bell cow running back. You should have known better, right? Because if we would have had a running back, and now to Telesco's credit, he tried. I mean, dude, there was a year we took 3 different running backs. There was 3 years we drafted a running back in a row. Problem was they all sucked. So he should have been more active, especially after what happened in the playoff game. I mean, dude, if we had a running back that was able to move the football, you eat the clock, even if you don't put up points in that game, but you chewed off 6 minutes, we would have won that game. But we couldn't do it. We kept going 3 and out because they would put us in a bad situation. Run. Eckler getting stuffed at the line. All of a sudden, Herbert has to fucking, work on a 3rd and 9. He doesn't get a completion. Oh, we punt the ball. And it's like, dude, we couldn't even eat the clock, because that's what good teams do. They build a lead like that, and then they run the ball. They eat the clock. They because the clock is the enemy for the other team. So you would have thought that after seeing what happened in that 27-0, fucking whatever you want to call that, you thought, like Telesco's number 1 priority would have been, I need to get a running back. And we're not talking about getting a Saquon Barkley, but get somebody that, Gus Edwards would have been beautiful. Could you imagine Gus Edwards and Austin Eckler, bro? That would have been the dream combo. But unfortunately, Eckler, he got sour with us, and I don't blame him in that sense. I didn't like that, he was bringing up the money aspect when he did, because it was bad timing, but I don't blame him, especially when he was asking for help, and Telesco just kept ignoring it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like I said, bro, like I don't mind any of the moves we made, dude. We had to move on. That's the thing about it too. Everybody's mad because we released Mike Williams. Bro, Mike Williams would have made almost 20, I think almost 30 mil if he would have stayed with the Chargers. We cut his ass. Guess how much he signed for the Jets?
10 million.
10 million for 1 year. So that goes to show you, like, dude, Mike Williams, if Mike Williams was this elite receiver, which is funny when I hear people talking about that, he wouldn't have had to sign a 1 year, $10 million contract, bro. Stop. So I don't know, bro. Like I said, man, and again, this is not me going at Alex Lugo, because like I said, I'm hearing that a lot. Is that how bad the Chargers have gotten this year? And I just don't see it, bro. I'm sorry. I don't see how we got worse. We don't have the star players, we don't have the big name player, but we've had that shit for years. And what did that do for us?
Yeah.
So I like the combination that we have in the running back. I like all 3 of these running backs. I think Spiller's time is run out, bro. He's done. Our time to move on from him. But if we keep 3 running back, I like the Vidal kid, the 6th round pick. For once, we have a late round running back that I actually like. And I like our receivers, bro. I think people are really undervaluing our receivers, bro. The impact that Ladd McConkey could have on this offense, bro, And then you factor in, the improvement of Quentin Johnston, and Josh Palmer being our number one. DJ Shark has been looking good, bro. Like, people are really sleeping on this receiving core. And I'm telling you, dude, we might get better production from this receiving core than we ever did with Mike and Keenan, because keep in mind, Mike was only good for what, maybe 6 games a year, you know?
He was great when it's prime time, but he wasn't a great wide receiver overall.
Right. Or when we played Kansas City, he always stepped up for those games. But what did he do the other times? You know what I mean? So
he got hurt.
Yeah, he was either hurt or he was just, So, like I said, and then the tight end position, right? Like, people are kind of sleeping on the 2 tight end. Will Dissly, I think, was a great addition, and I think Hayden Hurst, if he could stay healthy, Hayden Hurst, bro. That's the thing about this offense that we run. The tight end position is almost as valuable as the receivers, and yeah, they may not be household names, but I'm telling you right now, I think we'll get more production out of Hayden Hurst and Will Dissly than we ever did with Gerald Everett. And I mean, maybe I'm just, of course we're going to be a little optimistic right now, but I don't feel like it's just, you know what, you're just trying to look at I'm not trying to be positive. I already said, bro, I don't think we're not going to make, we'll probably squeak into the playoffs, because again, this AFC is fucking brutal, bro. Even though we have an easy schedule for the most part, it's still brutal, dude. There's 3 teams in the East that can make the playoffs, 3 teams in the North that can make the playoffs. So right there, that's 6 teams. Obviously you got division winners and all that, but Houston will make it. Obviously, that they're the division winner of the South. The Chiefs will be there because they're probably the division winner of the East, of the West. But it's going to be tough to make the playoffs this year. So the Chargers very well could have double-digit wins, say 10 wins, and still miss the playoffs because of how deep the AFC is this year. And I'll be fine with that. I'll be good with that, because it's like, at least it's a building block. You know what I mean? And yeah, Fehoko, listen, bro, I like Semi, whatever. And I do believe he was Braden Fajoko's cousin or something, right? And he's a Stanford kid, big, size and speed and everything. I think if you cut him, you could probably stash him away on the practice squad. If you cut Brandon Rice, somebody's going to pick him up, dude. And Brandon Rice, he hasn't looked good or great this training camp and preseason, but the potential's there. Like, they're not going to expect much of him this year anyway. But if you put Brandon Rice on the practice squad, bro, somebody's going to pick him up, and we lose out on that. So, unfortunately, I think Fehoko, he's been in the league for, I think this is like his 4th year. And I get it. It's about who helps us out to win now. But I think you got to go with the future and Brandon Rice. So I don't think Fehoko makes the team, unfortunately, because you already know, like, we got our 5 receivers are already locked in: Palmer and Shark and Johnston, McConkey, Davis, and then probably Brandon Rice, bro. Even though you're pretty much redshirting them this year, to be honest. But you can't put them on. I think they should make a protection rule on the practice squad. I think we did it in the COVID year, where you could protect 3 players on the practice squad from getting claimed. They should do something like that. So we could put Brandon Rice on the practice squad, but protect him from getting picked up. And that would make it a little bit easier, but they should consider doing something like that. Because yeah, I would rather have Brandon on the practice squad, but somebody else is gonna pick him up, dude. So So yeah, man. So yeah, dude, it's just it's been funny, Mo Dog. I've been listening to a lot of people give their opinion on this football team, and you know,
Yeah, I was reading a few people saying that we should probably just try to win just a couple of games and tank, but still go out there and play and just lose on purpose so we can get better draft picks for next year. That way, Jim can still focus on building this team, but we can also get good players next year because we're not going to be a Super Bowl team. So there's no point of ruining our chances on the draft pick.
yeah, but see that's our old mentality, right? That's what we would say, I really don't think we were that far away, bro. What else could we possibly add to this football team, right? Like, you know, and there's no guarantee that draft picks will even, hit anyway. So if you do something like that, and that, I guess I would say that's the loser mentality that we used to have. The only way I'll say to do that is if Herbert were hurt. And I guess that's probably why a lot of people are saying that, because they still think that this is going to be, let Herbert heal this year so it doesn't get worse. But you can't do that, right? You can't do that. That sends a bad message to the team. That's just not, dude, right now. And that's the other part of it too, bro. Like, we have a top, like, I'll put Herbert, in my opinion, is a top 5 quarterback. I don't have no problems putting him in the top 5.
He's not playing the first game, right?
What's that?
Herbert's not playing the first game, right?
Yeah, he is. He's fine, bro. He's back at practice. Everything's good. That's what I'm saying, dude. If everybody was making that shit like if it was, oh my God, dude, he's gonna be out for a month. Dude, he's fine. I knew it the minute I saw him on the sidelines in week 1 of the preseason against the Seahawks, bro. I'm like, okay, so everybody's panicking that, oh my God, Herbert's in a boot and he's not gonna play. And he's back at practice already, a little ahead of schedule. He took the boot off before he was really supposed to. Again, like I was telling, I think it was on Ash's stream. The thing is, bro, this kid is tough, dude. He plays through everything. He doesn't, he missed those 4 games. I think I was on your chat when I was saying it, was that, he missed those 4 games because our season was in the toilet, bro. Like, if we were playing for something, they would have wrapped it up and he would have, gone out there and finished off the year at least. And if we lose with them, fuck, whatever, But the thing is with him, bro, like all these injuries that he's had, he's never really missed time except the last one. So that's why I'm like, I don't know why people are panicking so much. He plays through shit, bro. He played a whole season pretty much with cracked ribs. And it's not like, then he took it easy. Bro, he was throwing the ball 70 times. If you look after that Chief game, when he cracked the ribs, go and look the next 3 or 4 games, he threw the ball over 70 times in those games. So it's not like, they were taking it slowly with him or anything, bro. He was still out there doing it, even though he was having, and if you had cracked ribs, you try throwing that, try moving your arm with cracked ribs, see how that feels. And this kid played, the rest of the year like that. And he never missed a game and he never made an excuse. He just, and that's the other thing too. I got to talk about that because I was even in Sam's stream right now. And he was saying, oh yeah, Charger fans use that excuse. Used what excuse? He had cracked ribs. We went to the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I don't know what Charger fans are saying. That's why I don't bother doing the social media shit. But ain't nobody making excuses for Herbert, bro. So, it's like, it's time. Now, I think is the time. Okay, bro. I don't know how you could make it an excuse that Herbert's never had a top defense to counteract. How many times have we seen, the Chargers blow leads in the 4th quarter, because their defense couldn't hold? How many times have we seen that? How many game-winning drives has Herbert had because of how bad our defense is? People don't want to talk about those things. They just want to talk about, the 4th quarter interceptions and, the playoff game. but yet fail to say, well, the defense gave up a 27-0 lead, bro.
Yeah.
It wasn't Herbert out there doing it. It's not like Herbert had 4 interceptions. You know, the offense went conservative. They couldn't stop. They couldn't keep the clock running. And that, dude. Staley. Maybe if Mike Williams didn't play that Denver game, he might have made an impact on that playoff game. But we would never know because Staley decided to play him in that meaningless Denver game, week 17 or 18, whatever it is now, and he got hurt. So another thing Staley did that, oh God, man,
Did he
I
ever
don't
join
know
another team?
what happened.
Did Stanley ever sign with another team?
Yeah, he's with the Niners on like an advisor. I don't know what kind of advice he's going to be giving that defense, but yeah, he's like an advisor or something to the defense. He's not. I don't think he's like an official coach. Maybe he is, but I know he's with the Niners now. I don't know why. Honestly, bro, that dude is such a fucking clown.
Well, sometimes a bad person needs to be on a team to win a Super Bowl. Like Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, pretty much the same shit. Well, I mean, can the fucking Niners win a Super Bowl? Shit, man. I don't know how much more talent they fucking need, but we'll see. But yeah, bro, it's been interesting, dog. I've been back for a week, dude, and it's like now I realize why I took time off, dude, because you know, like I said, bro, we all have our opinions. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I always respect my Charger crew's opinion. It's just when I hear other people talking about this team, it's like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what? I don't know how much more clearer I can make it, and I guess that's the whole point is that we're never going to convince anybody to change their mind, right? The only way you could do that is for the team to go out there and start winning. Right. And that would be the ultimate convincer. But I just, again, like I said, I don't think we're going to be a Super Bowl contender, bro. I think we'll challenge. See, because here's the thing, right? For the whole Mahomes era, even under Anthony Lynn and Brandon Staley, the Chargers have been competitive against Patrick Mahomes. Damn near beating him a lot of times, holding him to like some of his worst statistical games have probably come against the Chargers. And that's under Anthony Lynn and Brandon Staley. So now you bring in Jim Harbaugh, and how is it that those bums can figure something out against Mahomes for 3 quarters, beat him, and not being it? And why do we lose to Kansas City? Because we don't finish it. We don't close the door. We'll be up by 10 points entering the fourth quarter, and then Derwin James goes out, and then Kelsey goes off for 200 yards, or something happens like that, right? Or you know what I mean? So now, and let me just say this, bro. And I think Nate's still in here. Is Nate? Yeah, he just said Staley the GOAT. Yeah, GOAT fucker, maybe. I'm really, really excited about Jesse Minter, bro. I'm telling you, bro, like of all the coaches or all the new the Chargers have, new facility, new this, new that. The one coach that I'm really like excited to see is Jesse Minter, bro, succeed. And the thing is, right, you don't want him to be too good because then most likely he's gonna bounce after 1 year. But I'm hoping, dude, that there's something like an understanding between him and Hardball, bro. Like, look, Jesse, I'll give you the keys in 4 years. Stick with me and, stay here for the 4 years. I'll retire. You could take over this team, bro. That would be the ultimate fucking, oh man, I'll be so happy if that happens. Cause I really like Jesse Minter, bro. I think though, just even if you pay attention to the preseason, you see that things aren't perfect, right? Like he's going with a lot of undrafted guys and but a lot of the mental mistakes that we would even do last year in preseason, you don't see it this year. Like, dude, the Chargers are. I haven't really seen. I mean, maybe some of the undrafted guys have missed tackles and stuff like that, but they're undrafted guys. But just from what I've seen from this defense so far, dude, I'm like, yeah, bro. I think Jesse Minter is really gonna be something, dude, for real. So I would hate, like I've been telling, I told this shit to Ash. I think like right away I said, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if Minter's your coach in 2 years because I don't believe in AP. I think Antonio Pierce was a bad hire. I think they forced him to hire him and all that.
Yeah.
But I was like, don't worry, dude, you got Jesse Minter. And again, it was kind of like a jab at him, but at the same time, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to see Jesse Minter go over to the Raiders, bro, because I think that dude really does have something, man. And I get it, like I didn't watch much of that national championship game, but I know Michigan's defense was a true reason they won that game, right? It wasn't their offense, right? It was their defense, correct, Modog?
Yep. It was the defense and the running backs.
Exactly, right? So if Minter, and again, it's college, but who did you beat in the national championship again? Was it it was Ohio State, wasn't it?
No, not for the championship. No.
Who did you beat for the national? Oh, it was who was it?
That's what I'm trying to think, because I know we went to the Rose Bowl, we won the Rose game, and then we went to Texas for the national championship. Was it?
Oh no, you beat Washington. You beat Washington, either Penix. You beat Michael Penix.
That's right.
Right. That's who it was, right?
Washington beat Oregon, and then yeah.
So I think you beat Washington or Washington State. I always get those two mixed up, and that was, I had watched their game before that, dude, and I'm like, dude, they have like 4 fucking talented receivers there, and Penix was like dicing up everybody. Penix looked like shit against Michigan. So, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I really think Jesse Minter, bro, is going to be, definitely going to be a difference maker for us, man.
Yeah, it was Washington. Michigan beat them. Not State, it's Washington.
Washington. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, bro, like that's what I'm saying. I think Minter, and that's the thing with that Washington team. I think they had 4 receivers drafted this year, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, bro, they were good. And Minter's defense shut them down. So yeah, bro, like I don't think you could sleep on Jesse Minter. Like that dude, I think he's gonna have this defense playing, like Alex said, bro, night and day. And I know it's preseason, and you don't want to get overhyped. I mean, just ask Bronco fans not to get overhyped over preseason. But like you can be excited, and yeah, it's after 3 years of Staley, and that fucking piss poor, that, and that's the other part I want to talk about too, is that a lot of people think we have a bad defense. No, bitch. Or I'm just saying, like, because I hear that a lot. It's not that we have a bad defense. We had a bad fucking Brandon Staley, bro. Like, he made Derwin James look bad, bro. Think about that. Like, Derwin James, one of the better safeties in this game. Maybe he's not up there anymore as like the number 1 or number 2 or even top 5. Well, he's probably still top 5, but even he looked bad. Staley was so bad at what he did, he made Derwin James look horrible. That's not easy to do. So now that oh my God, bro, just imagine this, right? The Charger defense. I have a feeling, bro, like we have 4 very good edge rushers. Now, this is assuming everybody stays healthy. But we have Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, right? It all starts with them. They both have to stay healthy, and dude, this defense is going to be dangerous, right?
Oh shit, that's
Everybody
right.
wants to talk about our
Hey,
interior D line not being that great, dude. Look, that Tierra Tart, right? Isn't it funny that we always do the thing about Pop Tarts and we end up with a dude named Tart? So anyway, that dude's gonna be solid in the middle. I'm telling you right now. Him and Puna Ford and what's the other dude's name? Morgan Fox, dude. We're gonna be fine. But just imagine that, and that's the thing with Minter, bro. I like that he's creative and he does things kind of out of the ordinary. Like, dude, it's crazy, right? I want to see when the Chargers get to third down, when there's a 3rd and 5 against the Raiders for the first time, and then I want to see where we have Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Bud Dupree as a stand-up linebacker, Thule on the inside, along with Morgan Fox. And then you got Derwin James blitzing on the other side. I can't wait to see what that's going to look like, bro. All 4 of those guys on the field at the same time. Bosa, Mack, Thule, and fucking and Bud Dupree. And then you add Derwin on a safety blitz, bro. Oh my God, bro. Like I'm telling you right now, Aiden O'Connell is thrilled to not be playing this game, bro. I'm telling you that right now. You know that boy still has nightmares of Khalil Mack, you know. So I bet, dude, he was so happy when they named fucking what the fuck's his name? Minshew, the starter. He's like, all right, man, I'll come in week 2. And then in week 2, it doesn't get any easier for them. Then they got to play the other hardball. But, bro, watch. I want to see that, bro. And I have a feeling they could make that shit work, bro. Have all 4 of those guys, on the field at the same time, have Deion cover the tight end. And watch. I want to see that happen, dude, because that's one thing about the preseason is he's brought a lot of those safeties in on blitzes, bro. So could you imagine Derwin James being that? Oh my God, bro! It is going to be a long day for the Raiders offense, bro. I'm telling you right now. They better hope that offensive line is 100%. And I think Ash was talking about like Colton Miller is on the PUP list. If he's not ready, I think he has to be ready at the end of week 3 of the preseason. And if he's still on that PUP list, I think he has to sit out till week 8, if I'm not mistaken. So he better hope he's ready to go, bro, because damn, that's going to be tough, bro. That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm excited about this. I think our offense is going to take a couple weeks to get going, because everything's new and whatever. But I think this defense is going to be so fucking hungry, bro. Remember, the 63 points was put up on this defense, bro. This defense is pretty much still intact from last year, right? They're going to be out to prove something.
I hope so.
Like I said, I'm still keeping that score in mind, bro. Like I think it's going to be a defensive battle just because, and it's not going to be because we can't move the ball on the Raiders. I think it's more of like we're still trying to iron shit out on offense. So I think we're going to kind of struggle on offense, but our defense, bro, it might be 16-10, bro. I'm telling you that right now. But we're going to win the game. There's no doubt about it, But yeah, dude, I'm just, oh my God, bro. I can't wait. I just can't wait, dude.
Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule right now, and it seems like first few games we could win before we face the Chiefs.
Yeah, because I think we go the Raiders, the Panthers, I think.
Then the Steelers.
And the Steelers. Yeah, I mean, the Steeler game will probably be a little bit tough, but, again, well, I mean, look at those 3 quarterbacks we're going up against. Minshew, and then you got, Bryce Young. I don't know if maybe he'll be better year 2. And then whoever the fuck they put out at quarterback with the Steelers, bro. Like, oh my God, bro. This defense, it's going to, we could possibly not be giving up a touchdown, even though I gave the Raiders 10 points. Who knows? Maybe there's a fumble and they take it for a touchdown or something. But dude, we could be literally giving up like less than 10 points a game for the first three. Then, then here come the Chiefs, and then we'll really see what it's about. But I'm really excited about this defense, bro. That's why when people keep, oh, you got Christian Fulton. Christian Fulton right now is looking like our best DB, last I heard. I'm curious to see what Asante does. He's in a contract year. Well, both of them really are. Christian Fulton and Asante. So, they're going to be at their best. Um, uh, who else in that secondary? Oh, I like that. The rookie we got, the 4th round pick, still, or 5th round pick. Tarheep, I think his name is still. That dude looks like, was kind of a gem there. We'll see. I don't know if you know this. I'm not a big fan of Jazir Taylor, but even he's been doing better. So again, dude, like, I think the Chargers may not have all the names like they've had in the past, but dude, they got guys that are dogs now, bro, that are feeding into this system, that are excited about this system, that are going to be causing havoc, dude, because like I said, a lot of these core guys were here the last 3 years and they've kind of been an embarrassment. Now they got to redeem themselves and prove, just like the Raiders did last year, right? They wanted to prove they weren't dog shit. They wanted to prove that it was what was the coach that they fired? McDaniels. So they played better, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this defense is going to do. And yet this defense still has some fucking names on it, and people are still acting like, oh yeah, the Chargers don't have anything. I'm like, dude, how do you have Bosa, Mack, Thule, and Bud Dupree, not to mention Derwin James, and still sit there and say the Chargers got nothing on defense? All right. I keep hearing all this shit. The Raiders defense is going to be top 10. I got to bet with Ash. They are not going to be top 10 this year, bro. They are not going to be top 10 this year. But all right, we'll see. Again, bro, let's just see what happens week 1, man. I can't wait. It's still fucking 3 weeks away, or what, 2 weeks away, right? 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be the longest 2 weeks of my fucking life. But you know what? Let's go, man. So I can't wait, bro. I just can't wait, man.
Or is it 3 weeks?
The NASCAR package, is that a thing, bro? Is that a thing, or is that
September 8th.
So
yeah, it's 2 weeks from Sunday.
Yeah. So, and then these Raider fans, they talk about us making excuses. Oh, dude, we'll hear all the shit about the Raiders. Talk about excuses. They'll come up with every excuse in the book. Remember when we beat them, bro? I swear to God, this is not fake. Remember when we beat them? It was in SoFi. It was the year they went 3-0. They had went to like 3 overtime games in a row, and they were 3-0. We were, I think, 1-2, or I think that was the year I think that was Staley's first year, right? So there was that thunder or whatever, that freak thunderstorm that came through, and like it knocked off the power a little bit, and like the game was a little bit delayed. I remember hearing Raider fans talk about that was the reason the Raiders lost. The Raiders lost that game because of that delay. It fucked us up. It took us out of our. I'm like, wow, okay, buddy, okay, Raider fan, make every excuse in the book. Yeah, you had every opportunity to win that shit. Oh, when you line up all pass rushers, it's typically called NASCAR. Oh, I've never heard that. I think they'll be top 13. Who? The Raiders defense? Nah, bro. It's overhyped, dog. It's overhyped, bro. Their secondary is still trash, bro. I keep telling this to Ash. Dude, they keep talking up Jack Jones. I've watched Jack Jones since I'm not going to say I've known him since he was a kid. When he was at USC, bro, he got kicked off. Kid has mental issues, bro. He has mental issues. First bump in the road, you'll see it. Things went smoothly for him in 5-6 games, whatever it was last year. with the Raiders, and Antonio Pierce is his father figure, and blah 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 blah. All right, watch and see when he gets burnt a couple times. See how he reacts. I'm telling you, dude. And Jack Jones, he got kicked off of USC. He got kicked off of fucking New England. It's only a matter of time. The Raiders. That's the funny thing about the Raiders, bro. Like, they've always been notorious for like having player meltdowns and shit. Why stop there, dude? You got a mental case there. Watch. I mean, he might get torched in this game and fucking blow a gasket. Who knows? All right, week 1, Ladd McConkey gonna fucking put that boy on roller skates, bro. Have him all over the field, and he's gonna start. Then the real Jack Jones is gonna show up. Watch. I think that defense is really overrated, bro. Really severely overrated. Yes, Max Crosby's a great, one of the top edge rushers, but how many fucking times have they been hyping this dude up? And that defense doesn't do shit. Oh, they got Christian Wilkins. Okay, cool. So what? Man. I think the Raiders are really overrated, bro. Telling you. That defense, again, tell me again when Patrick Graham was considered a defensive guru. Tell me, like the way they're talking about him now. Remember, dude, they got slaughtered by Tyson Bagent. You could try to blame McDaniels for the defense not playing good, but damn well McDaniels had nothing to do with that defense, bro. Nothing to do with that defense. They got slaughtered by Tyson Bagent last year. Okay? They went up against Kenny Pickett, whatever the fuck his name is. They went up against some subpar quarterbacks last year, and I get it. You can only play who's in front of you. I understand that. But you're gonna look, dude. I'm just gonna go down some of the lists of quarterbacks that they played last year as to why they were a top 10 defense. Everybody's banking on that shit against Mahomes, bro. They didn't complete a pass for 3 quarters and still beat the Chiefs. There's not something wrong with that. You don't think there's something wrong with that? They didn't complete a pass for 3 quarters and still beat the Super Bowl champions. That's a weird. Maybe the Chiefs weren't trying. I don't know, but. That seems a little weird, no? But okay. And we're talking about the Raiders not completing a pass, not Mahomes. It was the Raiders not completing a pass for 3 quarters. So let's talk about some of the quarterbacks that they played last year. Let's start with Easton Stick in the 63 game, right? Okay. Yeah, Easton Stick, bro. Okay. Josh Dobbs. Okay. Tyson Bagent, who fucking wrecked them. Danny DeVito over there with the Giants. Mac Wilson, not Mac Wilson. What the fuck's his name? Zach Wilson. Shit. Who else? Kenny Pickett. That's what, 8 games right there, or 8 quarterbacks I've just mentioned. I mean, and not to mention Stidham. They went up against Stidham. They went up against Russ in week 1, but Russ was decent at least. Come on, bro. They went up against some of the shittiest quarterbacks in the game. I just named you 8 quarterbacks that they played. And yet everybody wants to hype up that defense. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. It's crazy to me. And for Nate to even put them in top 13, I'm assuming that's what you meant. If you didn't mean that, my bad. My bad. But I don't know, bro. It's the craziest shit. You know what I mean? But the Raiders defense gets a lot more credit than they deserve, bro. They get a lot more credit than they deserve. I think Robert Spillane had a career year. I compare it to the Giants. I know it's baseball, right? But the Giants had this amazing year where everybody had a fucking career year. And I was the only one that kept saying, bro, that shit is not going to last. That shit is not going to last. Well, the Giants are pretty good, bro. The Giants they play well together. They do. Nah, bro, it ain't going to last. And what happens? Giants end up winning the division that year. on a fucking check swing that should have never happened. They lose and they get eliminated in the playoffs by a check swing, and they haven't been heard from since. I know it's baseball, but it's the same analogy, bro. They had a career year. They were really good that year for whatever reason, but it wasn't sustainable, bro. And that's the same thing with that Raider defense. Their secondary is not great. Robert Spillane's a good linebacker. I'm not going to take that from them, but that's really all they have as far as like. And I'm on there again. Maybe they have other people step up this year, but I just don't see it. I don't think Patrick Graham has ever been a coach that is like known. I think he came from the Belichick tree. I'm not sure. I think so. But he's never really been like, oh, yeah, Patrick Graham. When you think of defensive coordinators, great defensive coordinators, Patrick Graham ain't one of them. So did he just have a good year? And remember, they got slaughtered by the Bills that year, too. Like any top offensive team, I'm sure was really good against the Raiders last year. I mean, but that was the thing. They didn't play that many. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, and if I'm wrong, I'll eat my words. I got to bet with Ash. I don't think his defense is going to be top 10. But we'll see. We'll see at the end of the year. Maybe I'm just a dumb Charger fan. I'm not denying it. But if I'm just dissecting what they did last year, it was not impressive, beating the chart, putting 63 points on a team that was clearly giving up. They sent a message. Why it had to be the Raiders to do it? I think we played the Bills a couple of weeks later, but I think the Chargers were just fed up. And they're like, look, if we go out there and we show you that we're not going to put an effort against your worst rival, then, and if you don't get the message, Dean, and you don't make these changes, then I don't know. But like I said, bro, like you could clearly tell that game there's a highlight of George Kuntz literally walking around Rashawn Slater, and he didn't even try to block him, bro. He didn't even attempt to get in the way. And this is Rashawn Slater we're talking about. So if that wasn't a signal that the Chargers were not trying to win or even compete in that game, then I don't know. But all right, Raiders, it happened. And you got the last laugh because you ended up hiring everybody we fired, except Staley. Oh, man, if the Raiders would have hired Staley, bro, oh, God. That would have just killed me now, bro. That would have been hilarious. I'd have died laughing. But they went with Telesco. They went with even Telesco's little butt buddy. What the fuck's his name? I forget. The dude that was under him is GM, assistant GM, another hack. It's just hilarious. But yeah, Mo Dog, you haven't talked much, bro. My bad.
No, it's fine.
When we get into that Raider talk, bro, I won't shut up. Are you there?
I just want to know, who do you think will be the bottom of the division this year?
Dude. You know what, bro? I think even though I talk a lot of shit about the Raiders, I don't think they're a bad football team. I think that's where where people get like, they miss. I mean, yeah, I know I just spent 10 minutes talking shit about their defense, but I still think they're a decent enough team. Honestly, bro, even if you are the last team in this division, it's not going to be like you're a bad football team. Like, Bo Nix, the Broncos with Bo Nix, we'll see how that works. I mean, again, I was saying this before those rankings came out, but I was like, dude, there's no talent on Denver's team. But if Bo Nix is, capable, it's going to be hard to see them be like a really bad football team this year. So I don't know, bro. It's kind of a crapshoot. I could see every one of these teams winning at least, and I don't even know if it's possible, but could be like eight wins. So, I mean, it could be us in last place. But if we have like eight to 9 wins, it's still a decent season, but it's just because I don't think any team in this division is really that bad. You know what I mean? Like I said, even though I just shit on the Raiders defense, something about them is like, because again, we all have pretty favorable schedules, bro. Like, I think we have like the easiest, I think either the second or third easiest schedule in all of football. So that is going to kind of help us. I think I mean, obviously, we still play the same teams. So I don't know, bro. It's hard to say, who's going to be last, but even if you are last in this division, doesn't necessarily mean you're a horrible team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'm just looking at the schedule. I mean, yeah, it does seem like we should have a favorable schedule, but we do have the AFC North we got to go through, and that might be we might lose every single one of them.
Oh yeah, dude, that North is brutal. That North is fucking brutal. I mean,
Shit,
the
we got
Browns.
Oh.
I don't know, dude. Like the Browns might be the worst team in that division. No, it'll be the Steelers will be the worst. But even they're a decent football team, So yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's kind of the same thing with us. Like I think even our division, yeah, we may not get, like I don't think we'll send anybody else to the playoffs really, but it's still going to be a competitive division, for sure.
This might be our opportunity to finally beat the Patriots 2 games in a row.
It'll be our opportunity to do what?
To beat the Patriots 2 games in a row.
Yeah, when do we play them? Do we play them late in the year, right?
Yeah, December 29th.
Is it in New England?
Yeah.
Of course it is. They want to put us in New England and fucking at the end of the year. Yeah, that'd be nice. Just continue to beat the shit out of them, bro. I mean, we went out. At least we won the last game against Belichick, even though it didn't really mean shit. But hey, I'll take it, bro. Because yeah, they're gonna look. I mean, they might not even be that bad this year, dude. Depending on what that quarterback does, if he's even gonna play, I don't know. I think I heard they're gonna sit him year one, and so I don't know, but yeah, that East is even that shit is wild, bro. You got the Bills, Jets, Dolphins. Oh, so while we're on this topic, bro, did you hear that little interview from Tua where he was talking shit about Brian Flores?
No.
Oh, dude. Well, I shared the link to it on my channel, bro. So basically, Tua was over here crying, and Brian Flores was such a bad guy. He was so mean to me, and he didn't encourage me at all, and he just made me feel like I was bad. I'm like, dude, am I listening? I felt like I was listening to a female talk, about her husband or her boyfriend or something. Like, made me feel worthless and all this shit, bro. And I'm just like, bro, why even bring it up, dude? Why even bring it up? And I get that the interviewer asked them the question, but just do what everybody else does. Oh, well, you know what? Yeah. Brian Flores didn't work out, blah, 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 and move on. Instead, he starts opening up his heart and, talking about what a mean guy Brian Flores was to him. And I just thought that was funny, bro, because I'm like, what the fuck? And, the thing is, I've never heard Herbert blame anybody about, because they could easily ask Herbert, how's it feel now to have, Jim Harbaugh? And I'm sure they have. But is there a soundbite out there where Herbert throws Anthony Lynn under the bus? Is there a soundbite where he's bad mouthing Brandon Staley? No, because it's just like there's no point in doing that. I don't know, dog. I thought that was very weak on Tua's side, bro, to be bashing him. And the funny thing is, it's not like you're a year removed from Brian Flores. You've been under Mike McDaniel for like what, 2 years now? And now you feel the need to talk about Brian Flores? Like, I don't know. I just thought that shit was very female on Tua's end to be bad mouthing Brian Flores after all that time. And then, like the guy that clipped what he was saying, he was putting all these interceptions that Tua was throwing. And the funny thing is, all that shit was under Mike McDaniel. It wasn't under Brian Flores. So he's over here crying about how mean Brian Flores was to him. Yet, you know, he's throwing all these interceptions still under McDaniel. I just thought that shit was hilarious, bro. Sissy bullshit, bro. But what do you expect, bro? That's Tua for you, you know.
So, who do you think the Chiefs will be the first one to three-peat this year?
I hope not. I hope not, bro. I don't know, dude. It seems like the AFC West, the AFC conference is going to be so tough this year. I
thought that last year too, you know, Bengals would have been better. Baltimore was supposed to be better. Bills were supposed to be good, but everybody faltered and choked and let the Chiefs went ahead and take it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, they did beat the gauntlet to get there. I mean, but you got to think, you know, Henry, and this is, dude, I'm telling you right now, if Hunter, or what the hell's his name? Derrick Henry, bro, like has an amazing year with Baltimore, but then does not show up in the playoffs again. They got to stop calling that fool King Henry, because you call him King Henry and he's never done shit in the playoffs. And he's had his opportunities, bro. Tennessee was like the number 1 seed a lot of those, you know, maybe once. And he didn't do a damn thing against fucking Kansas City. So I'm going to hope that, you know, Derrick Henry could actually do something against them, because that was a weird thing, bro. Like, Baltimore was such a good running team last year. Gus Edwards had 3 carries against the Chiefs in that playoff game, and that playoff game was still pretty close. But I had this discussion on Ash's page too. I think the losses that Kansas City's had on that defense, you know, like losing Snead, their cornerback, losing Mike Edwards, their safety, it's going to be kind of tough for them to replace those guys, bro. So I don't know if their defense is going to be as good this year as it was last year. But then maybe Mahomes is better this year than he was last year, so he kind of evens it out. I don't know, bro. But I don't know, man. I really hope somebody stops them from three-peating, but I don't think anybody, if they get to the Super Bowl, I think they win. Because I've given up on the 49ers, bro, and just they have a block when it comes to the Chiefs, bro. So yeah, I don't know, bro. I guess what I'm trying to say is I think it's Baltimore or nobody, because I don't think the Bills, that's another team that just can't fucking beat them when it matters, right? The only team that's been able to do it a few times was Cincinnati. Well, really only once in the playoffs, and they've been able to beat them in the regular season. So that's why everybody talks about Cincinnati, but whatever. Yeah, bro, I'm like really putting my faith in, and don't sleep on us, bro. Like, if we, you know, this will be the ultimate, right? Is that, and I've said this before, whereas if we happen to play them in the playoffs and knock them out, but they go on to lose the following week, I don't care. I'll be so fucking happy, bro, because we actually were the ones to knock them out. That'll be my Super Bowl. Honestly, it would be. you know, and I don't care what we do the next week because we knocked them out. But I don't know. I don't know if that's how realistic that could be. But I don't know, bro. I just, I really don't want to see them win a third one in a row. Uh,
I don't think
I don't know.
anybody does.
What you think they're gonna win again?
I honestly feel like they want this team to win 3 years in a row. I mean, if you watch that game with the Ravens, Lamar Jackson wasn't even allowed to play. That dude's always running, but in that game he didn't run for shit.
Yeah. Well, that was more Baltimore's fault, dude. They just again they went away from what was working, dude. Well, they went away from what got them there, and I don't know why. Because the thing is with their defense, with Kansas City, bro, you've always known you can run on that defense, and yet everybody they go up against decides not to run against them. It's the most fucking aggravating thing, bro. Even when they played Cleveland a couple years ago, um, you know, and they had that good running attack. Even they went away from running the football on them. So I don't know why teams do that. You know, but that's on those teams. I don't think it's I don't know, man. That's the frustrating part because um they again, dude. I'm not taking nothing away from Kansas City. I know they get a shit ton of favorable calls and all that shit, but they also, hold their own and they beat three of the best teams in the NFL to get to that Super Bowl. But God, I just hope somebody knocks them off, bro. But yeah, like I think it's really only Baltimore. Um, I don't know if the Bengals will be that good this year, honestly. Or I don't feel they will. I think like one of the receivers, I think it's T. Higgins, is all upset, doesn't want to be there, and like there's some turmoil going on with the Bengals right now. Um,
Oh wow.
Buffalo, bro, like how many years can we rely on Buffalo, and then it just how long you gonna be like for? I don't know how long, Modo.
It don't matter. I'm good.
All right, so usually the follow up is he wants to jump in, so. Yeah, I mean that'll be cool. I'll probably have to cut out in about 15 minutes because I got to get ready for work. But I'll jump, back in. Uh, yeah, so I'll jump back in like maybe 20 minutes. Yo, shit, it's already 10. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, I got about 20 minutes, but yeah, Nate. I mean, could always try. We got to hear Nate's. I could jump on. All right, cool. Hear Nate's opinion, bro. The other Charger crew, my boy Manny, I guess he was busy. Have you talked to Link lately?
No, I've been pretty much trying to stay off YouTube to take a break.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you, bro, for real.
As well as I've been working 2 jobs, so not much time to be on YouTube.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I will be for the 3 Chargers primetime games.
You will be what?
I'll be on YouTube for the 3 Chargers primetime game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like that's what I was telling Link, man, is that because I don't want to do live streams. I'm not doing that this year, but I mean, if we could get like maybe twice a week, just maybe talk about the game before, obviously, what do you call that, post game or pregame? Talk
Yeah.
about the pregame for that week, and then obviously go live like what we did on my channel. That shit is therapeutic, bro. Sometimes we need to talk about what we just witnessed. So that's my kind of thing. And maybe I'll start going live again. I don't know. I just, dude, I wish I could just make it where only our people are in there. You know what I mean? Because that's the thing about YouTube, bro. I don't like all these fucking weirdos that they start subbing up and then you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want that. Like um right now I think I got like 10 subscribers and they're all the 10 people that I know. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, bro, I wish there was a way. And I know you could go live. You could go live, I think, and like pre-record it, I guess. So when we're live, we're just on there talking, and then you could upload it, whatever. Not like too many people watch us anyways, because who watches the Chargers? But uh, nah, we didn't. Nah, Billy, we were talking. We're talking the other day, bro. Like honestly, Nate, now that you're in here, bro, I quit YouTube because, dude, like just like this shit is fucking negative all the time, bro. I'm telling you, and like not just like amongst like our live stream, our little fucking whatever. It's just in general, dude. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. I have not watched Guilty as Charged. I have not watched any of those channels. The only guy I'm still sub to when it comes to Charger content is that Michael McCree guy or whatever his name is. I like that kid, but Guilty as Charged and all these other channels, bro. I'm not trying to hear all that bullshit, bro. So I got off of it for that reason, just because of how negative all this shit was getting, bro. And it was good, bro. Like honestly, I was happy those 3 months, like so. Yeah, dude. So I'm trying to avoid that, but obviously I got to connect with the Charger crew, bro. Like that was the one thing I regretted was like, yeah, I didn't really let you guys know what was going on. It's like all of a sudden I did go live the night when I was just like, yeah, man, I'm just done with YouTube because that's what another reason was. I got strikes on my channel for no reason. Right. So I couldn't even go live on my channel till I think November 8th because I got the 3-month ban. And then I was just like, man, this shit is just stupid, bro. Like they don't even. I'm not even doing content, and I get strikes. That don't make sense. So
Yeah, someone was telling me to be careful of Brandon Roger because he likes to report people's pages. I
you
don't know.
think? Nah, I don't think Rogers would report me. I mean, although
I'm not putting the
I don't think
blame
he
on
would
him.
report me. But I think because I always talk shit to him, and I'm always like, yeah, you ginger fuck, or I say things like that. I don't know. Maybe somebody reported it because I don't say shit to nobody really, but I
Yeah.
always talk like that with him. So I don't know. Maybe, but yeah, I don't think Rogers would report me, but I don't know.
I'm not saying that he did. Someone just told me to don't talk with him or don't chat with him because he will report your page.
Yeah, maybe those other guys, but nah, me and Rogers we're cool. Yeah. So I mean, I get where you're going. Like those people that are around Brandon Rogers are the fucking, what I'm talking about. But yeah, no, as far as Rogers goes, bro, like I don't think he would do shit like that. But yeah, the people around him, yeah, you know. But maybe that's what happened. Maybe not. I really don't care. I was like, nah, dude, I don't want to be on this shit. And just because you got to be careful with everything you say, dude, like, so that's why I was just like, nah, I'm over this whole YouTube thing. And I had said um, that I would come back when football season started, but I was enjoying my time not being on here, bro, like not being in the mix, not hearing, all this shit. So that's why I was like, you know what? I actually preferred that. You know what I mean? Oh, what
Yeah.
did he say about it? I've heard about Discord, bro, but I mean, how do you even do that? If we do Discord, only the Charger crew can make calls and shit. Well, hey, bro, let me know. I don't know how to do that, but yeah, I would love to have it like that, bro, where it's just you, me, Nate. I mean, yeah, Modog, Nate, Manny, Chris Senor is hard to find, but I always liked his takes on shit. Um, young Link, and then yeah, dude, I'll have no reason to fucking be on this YouTube shit. There, you guys are really the only reason I'm coming back to this, to be honest. But yeah, if if you come into the live, bro, if you could see how to set that up, I wouldn't mind, dude. And I don't like Discord because I think Kristen York tried to get me on a Discord before, but it was other Charger fans, and I don't know, I got annoyed and I got off of that because that's the thing, bro. Just because you're a Charger fan doesn't mean we're gonna be cool. Because, like I said, I just hate those Charger fans that like feel like they know it all. You know what I mean? Like I can't stand those guys. That's why I like us, because even though we all have a difference of opinion, we all can still get along with each other. Like me and Mo Dog have had disagreements in the past. I think I used to like Anthony Lynn. Yes, I did. I did. And Mo Dog, I still remember, bro. You had did a video. That's when I knew you weren't out here. You had did a video like you were in the snow or something, and you were talking all this shit about it. I think it was when we had started 0-4 with Anthony Lynn. I don't even think I was doing videos yet, or maybe I was. No, 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 no. That was the year before I started doing videos. So we started out 0-4, and you were going off on Lynn. You're like, yeah, he should have never brought him in, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, you got to give the guy some time, bro. He's not going to, it's not his fault. I remember we had that kicker, Hu Young Kim, whatever his name is, the one that's with the fucking Falcons, that's an all pro now. And he had missed 2 straight field goals, like game winners for us. And so you were going off on Lynn, and I was like, bro, you got to give him time. You're wrong about Anthony Lynn and blah, blah, blah. And that was probably like the only time we were like arguing. I don't know if do you remember that or no?
I don't remember that. I remember going off on Lynn, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Like I was just commenting back then. So you probably didn't even do the connection. Like, oh, that was that. Yeah, because I was just commenting. Because I think, yeah, that was 2017. I didn't start doing videos till 2018, but I had been around YouTube for like a few years. And then actually, the fuck was his name? SoCal Ram was telling me to do videos. So I did. And yeah, I never got off. But yeah, dude, I just like how, all of us have a difference of opinion, but it's not that toxic shit where, all right, you don't agree with me, fuck you. My point is the only one that matters. And a lot of Charger fans are like that, bro. That's why when I hear Ash talking about, certain Charger fans and all that, bro, like I'm like, hey, don't lump me into that. Don't lump any of my Charger crew into that, because we don't do that shit. And yeah, I don't, trust me, bro. There's a lot of Charger fans that I despise, because they're, like MoDog touched on it earlier, they hit that panic button right away. Like, oh my God, Herbert's hurt. We're fucked. We're this. I don't got time for that shit, bro. Like, let's just let it play out.
Dude,
Luckily, I was not on the internet, and I really stayed away of the internet when that shit started, because I was like, I can only imagine the toxicness that's going on right now.
Dude, on one of the group chat for the Charger page, whenever the Chargers lose, they always be like, you know what, fuck that. They move to another city anyway. I really don't care.
Oh yeah. The San Diego fan, believe me, I still have my issues with them. Because yeah, it's like fuck the Chargers, and like you said, when they lose, fuck them. Oh, I'm glad they move. When we start, trying to gain momentum, oh, they belong back in San Diego. It's like, well, which is it, bro? Like, you act like you don't care. The city of San Diego, I'll still never forget that. When we were losing, they were giving away free tacos to celebrate it. So
I still have a lot of the people on Facebook from San Diego. I used to live out there. I see all those free taco shit.
Yeah.
I see people celebrate.
Yeah, but yet when we start winning or we start looking up, and now it's like we belong back in San Diego. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, that's another thing. I don't got nothing against San Diego. I never have, bro. Like, San Diego, they hate LA. right? They do, and that's cool. I don't care. I mean, I that's never bothered me, bro. Like, there's no rivalry between the Dodgers and Padres. Like, there's none of that, right? So I've never looked at it from that angle. But I know San Diego hates Los Angeles, and that's fine. But when it comes to the Chargers, don't pull that shit where you were probably out there fucking burning your damn jersey, right, in front of the Charger headquarters when they moved. And now that the Chargers got some momentum and starting to do some shit, and now you want to come back and be like, and I have no problem with the true San Diego fan that didn't like the move. I didn't like the move, right? We've had this conversation before. I didn't think moving to LA was the best choice, right? Because I know this city. Obviously, I live in this city. I knew this city wouldn't embrace the Chargers. Only way they would embrace the Chargers is if they won. But look at what's happening with the Rams, bro. Rams literally won a Super Bowl, and LA could care less about the Rams. But like I said, the thing with the Chargers where they have the advantage, San Diego is only 2 hours away. Chargers win a Super Bowl, I guarantee you everybody from San Diego will be in that stadium with the bandwagon LA fans, which myself is not one of them. I think you know that by now. But that's where it makes us different. If Chargers win a Super Bowl, San Diego will get on board and they'll start coming. How do I feel about that? I really don't give a shit. I don't. I just hate the whole talk about Chargers belong or Chargers should sell the team and then come back. They're not going to go to San Diego, dude. Nobody is going to pay damn $3-4 billion to buy this football team and then move them back to San Diego where they're less valuable. It just doesn't make sense. But again, logic doesn't enter, But like I said, dude, I got nothing against Oceanside. Like I don't mind San Diego fans as long as they just stay. Like I get you can voice your opinion that they shouldn't be in LA and whatever, but it's like leave it at that, bro. Don't make it seem like, oh yeah, you know what? Fuck the Chargers. I'm glad they're in San Diego or in LA and whatever. And then, like I hate that flip flopping shit. I think I proved that with Ash Raider. Like I just hate how people will say, well, and I get it, you could change your opinion and whatever, but just don't do it like that. What up, SoCal? What's going on with you, bro? What's up? That's the other Charger Crew member right there. I knew I was forgetting somebody. So yeah, bro, we might try to do that Discord. I don't know how to do that, but if do you know how to do a Discord, Modog?
No, I never heard of it.
Oh, I've heard of them. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is, but I've heard of it. But yeah, if we could do a Discord, bro, I'll be on that. I mean, I'll still tap in with like Sam and Ash every once in a while, but shit, I'd rather be on Discord.
Is that supposed to be like a YouTube page or Rambo? Like with
I don't think it's that. I think it's like I know it's an app because I think there was like a TTC Discord. Was it Tyson? I forget who was that they tried to invite me in on it, and I was like, nah. So I know it's some kind of I can explain when I jump in. All right, cool. As a matter of fact, hey Mo, do you want to like end this one and then come back in a little bit? Because I'm gonna I gotta jump in the shower, bro.
Yeah, I'll come back. Oh, you want me to? What time?
Or do you want to come back? I mean, can you come back at like around 11? Or is that gonna be too late for you?
What time would that be? 11, 12, 1,
11? 2? Oh yeah, your time would be I think 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll be up at 2.
All right. Well, let's stay on for a little bit. Maybe if Nate, I'll explain when I jump in what's Discord. Yeah, he'll explain when he jumps in. If let me see what else. Damn, it's been 6 years since it all started. Yeah, I started in 2018, at least doing videos. And I remember I started because I wanted to talk about the Rams. That was the first game in LA was 2018. I think it was like week 2. And then that year was actually a good year for us. We went down to what do you call it? I think that was the year we won. Yeah, that was the year we beat Baltimore. So my first year of being on YouTube, bro, we were actually a good football team. I think that's when we won 11 or 12 games and beat Baltimore, Lamar Jackson's first playoff game. And then we got bitch slapped by Tom Brady and the Patriots, as always, man. Story of our lives, bro. The fucking Patriots. I'll be down for 11. Cool.
It was
I found
exciting
your
stuff
channel
like
midway through the season in 2018, I think. Yeah, bro. And honestly, when I first started, like, there was a lot of Charger fans, bro, that were coming on the page. Like, I guess because, I used to show my face, so it was a little different, because I showed my face up until I remember the Baltimore game, the regular season one, because then some shit happened, and I just ended up getting advice about not being on social media or be careful what you see, just a whole bunch of shit that I don't gotta deal with now. But and then I just got used to it. I just got used to like not being, on camera because I'm still like not comfortable with the internet. You know what I mean? Never have been. That's why I don't do Facebook or I've never been that type, dude. So that's why people get surprised, like that know me, and they find out that I've been on YouTube because it's like, damn, dude, you on. And to be honest with you, I didn't know YouTube was as big as it was when I came in here. I thought it was like whatever, I thought there was no way of people finding you unless you were like subbed up or something. I didn't know how fucking huge this shit was. So leave it to me to not like, I don't do Facebook. I don't do any of those things because of exposure or whatever. And then I stumble on the fucking most popular fucking thing you could be on social media. So yeah, good job. But but yeah, I've never been comfortable with the internet, bro, for real. So the fact that I'm still here, bro, I'm that's a miracle in itself. But oh, you never saw my face. Then you might have not been. It might have not been 20 because I don't remember. I don't remember 2018. I'm trying to think like. Uh, yeah, I don't remember. Did you follow me? Yeah, well, I don't think we talked till me and you, Modog, till I don't know. Did you ever see me when I used to post videos?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. Who did I interact? I mean, obviously, I interacted with Sev, and because Sev knows what I look like. Um, dude, 2018 feels like so long ago. I'm trying to think who did I interact with the most back then? Because see, Ash has never seen me, so I know Ash came in. I remember I started talking to Ash when he asked me about Tyrell Williams. So I think it was after that year because he's never seen me. So yeah, like the first year I did it up until the Ravens game, and I think it was November when we played them during the regular season, and then we beat them in the playoffs. But yeah, that's when. Damn, I'm trying to not November. Yeah, November or December. I can't remember, dude. I'm old, man. But yeah, I know I stopped. Then I stopped doing showing my face on here. And like I said, I didn't know how fucking popular this shit was. It was late 2018. Okay, then yeah, then that explains it. Cause yeah, I stopped showing my face late 2018. And then I don't think I think the playoff game against New England. I remember, bro, I did this video where I was I was breaking down New England's schedule, and I was like, they haven't beat nobody. Like, oh, dude, I was so confident that was going to be the time we were going to beat the Patriots. After all the fucking years of losing to the fucking Patriots, and talk about fucking Brady looking old and it's catching up to him, and like, they didn't beat nobody, and I went down every fucking game, bro, and it didn't matter because that motherfucker He turned the clock back like 10 years and beat the shit out of us as usual, but
It was a good first 5 minutes.
yeah, we were like they scored and then Keenan, I remember Keenan had that big like reception and we answered back and then they scored again and then I
Again,
think like we got a bullshit penalty or something. Go figure against New England. And then and then yeah, dude, like we never recovered after that. And then yeah, the Chargers. And then you know what? The funny thing about that, I crowed during halftime. I think it was Gabe. Remember? Well, you knew Gabe, right? Moda. Yeah, you and Gabe used to argue all the time.
Still do.
That's another homie that I haven't seen, but I crowed during halftime. I said, "Yeah, bro, we're not winning this game," and blah blah blah. And it's just funny because Casey Kidd did that. Well, the difference was Kansas City came back because I remember that's why Casey Kidd got so much shit because he crowed at halftime in the game against Houston. Remember when they were getting their ass kicked?
Yeah.
And then Kansas City came back in that game to win, obviously. And then, so Casey Kidd got a lot of shit. But yeah, I actually crowed during halftime against that New England game. And then we made kind of like a little comeback. And I was like, yeah, bro, they're just fucking with us. And yeah, sure enough, bro, they dropped the hammer when they had to, man. Oh, man, the fucking Patriots, bro. We just could not beat Tom Brady, or Rivers couldn't beat Tom Brady. We actually annihilated. Remember when LaDainian went off that one time? We beat him no, that wasn't Tom Brady, was it? That was I think that was the year Matt Castle was there. And we put up like 48 points on him. Remember that?
Yep.
Of course, during the regular season, but still.
That was the year that we lost to the Steelers in the playoffs.
That was what?
The year we lost to the Steelers in the playoffs.
I just know, bro. Like we've had so many fucking super teams, bro, and just it's fucking aggravating, dog. How we always got the shit end of the stick, bro, for real. So many great teams, bro, that didn't do shit, But we're still here, man. We're still, I was thinking about this shit the other night, bro. There is no such thing as a fan like a Charger fan, bro, because at least for us, the fact that we stayed on this YouTube shit after what happened in that playoff game, bro, that says something about us, bro, because everybody else would have probably been like, you know what, fuck this shit, and we're not coming back. I mean, look at the Chief fans over the years, bro. I mean, I know they left for different reasons, but they're nowhere to be found, and they're winning Super Bowls. Yet the Charger crew is still here, bro. After 20, you know how hard it was to go live that night, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was tough. What was that?
I said that year was tough.
Yeah.
The following year was kind of tough by almost winning every single game. And then, of course, the last playoff game was tough after being up by 27.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about that game against the Raiders and the whole field goal situation.
The timeout that he called, and they were just gonna play for the tie and all bullshit. Yeah. We've been through some shit, bro, and we're still here, still Charger fans, But
every year we were outdoing ourselves.
See, this is the difference, right? So this is why when I get into fucking back-to-backs or arguments with the Raider fans, they want to talk about, well, your team's never done shit, your team this, your team that, and it's like, it's just funny because your team hasn't done shit in 20 years, bro. You could talk about those championships all you want. You were not alive to witness that shit. You've never even seen your team win a playoff game. and you want to come talk shit to us that we don't have no fans, we don't have this, we don't have that. Have you seen your stadium? You know, you could thank us for that shit. When you see that stadium when the 49ers go to play over there in Vegas and Green Bay goes over there, when Denver goes and plays you in Vegas, you could thank us for that because, yeah, nobody would argue that there's a lot of Raider fans. But the fact that you're getting outnumbered in your own stadium, bro, you could thank us for that. But like I said, bro, like Raider fans that, especially the ones that we know that maybe might be about 30 years old, you didn't experience none of the glory years. You've experienced nothing but shit. But yeah, you're gonna bring up for the Chargers because we've never, but one thing is, bro, Raider fans keep making, there's this thing about, oh, you don't know heartache until you've been a Raider fan. Fuck you. Your team has always sucked, bro. You want to talk about fucking heartache? Well, what's your heartache? Losing a mid-season game? You know what I'm saying? You bitches don't even go to the playoffs. You went twice, thanks to us. One of them. You know what expectations do you have? Now you look at the Chargers. We're actually always hyped up. They'll say it themselves. I'm sick of the Chargers always getting hyped up. Yeah, but there's good reason for it. You know what I mean? Like we actually have playoff hopes, Super Bowl hopes. We never get there. We've gotten pretty fucking close, only to have, beating fucking Tom Brady in the playoffs and actually picking off the pass to end, the game, but then we charger it up. Like we're not on the same level, bro, because our teams actually have played. We've had MVP seasons or MVP season from LaDainian Tomlinson, breaking the touchdown record and like doing all these great things, and we come up short. That's heartbreak. What's your heartbreak? Fucking what? What? You haven't have the chance at success, let alone actually have it. So, yeah, bro, like trust me, man. I know we play the Raiders week 1. That's why I'm on that right now. But it's just always funny, bro, because we get a lot of respect, at least from Chief fans that I know that actually respect this team because they know, like, oh, all right, dude, hey, if the Chargers ever get it together, they're gonna be a problem, right? Because we have everything. You don't say that shit about the Raiders, and the Raiders talk the most in this division, bro. They talk the most in this division, yet they're the most irrelevant team when you really when it boils down to it. Yeah, we haven't won anything, but we've been in the conversation, right? Because we've had Rivers, we've had all these great teams, and I get it, bro. It's disappointing. That's what's heartbreaking about being a Charger fan. So we've actually had the opportunities, but we don't do nothing with it. So that's just as bad, but at least we have like an outlook. What's your outlook? To be 500? Is that your outlook? To not have the number 1 pick in the draft? That's your outlook? Like, come on, bro. It's not the same, dog. So, yeah, I just, like I said, bro, oh, man. I got there he is. Look at that. I was just talking about Gabe, bro. Talking about Gabe, the homeboy. My homie Gabe. But yeah, man, you ruined my life, Gabe. Your team ruined my life. I hope all is well, bro. Last time I talked to you, I'm not gonna bring up your business, but I know you you were on to some new things, bro. Hopefully all that's been good. Man, that's been a while. That's been a while, bro. So hope all is well, bro, with you and the fam. But yeah, Mo Dog. So if you want to jump back at 11, bro, because I'm gonna have to get ready for work right now. But you want to jump back at 11? Maybe Nate could tell us about that Discord shit.
All right.
Yeah. So But yeah, bro, I'll tap back in at 11.
All right.
All right, man. Take it easy, bro. Later, Gabe.
Later, Gabe.